right, welcome back to InsideFlix. We're going to be doing our weekly box office report. Rich, tell us what came in at number one.
Well, this Memorial Day weekend, which we must apologize that the last time we made our box office predictions, none of us realized that it was going to be Memorial Day weekend. And these 4 days, the winner, of course, was Top Gun Maverick, and that brought in $160 million plus. Coming in number two is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness with $20.3 million. And number three was the Bob's Burgers movie with $14.8 million. And number four was Downton Abbey, A New Era, with $7.4 million. And number five is The Bad Guys, once again, with $5.6 million.
Well, we did predict that Top Gun Maverick was going to be number one. We didn't expect that it was going to have this huge number.
Well, the 3 day take was Top Gun Maverick made $126 million.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that the whole audience for it went out, because it seems like it was going to be tough to promote a sequel or to make a sequel. What is it, like 35 years later?
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that this is almost like being watched kind of like a family movie, and people. It's like somewhat like the parents watched it or grandparents watched it, and it's like everyone's watching it together as a family. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, and this was a perfect touch for Memorial Day, the armed services. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, right?
it was a clever release, and it was It turned out to be Tom Cruise's biggest movie.
It's his biggest opening weekend ever. It's his.
That's crazy, and by a lot, it's like by double.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it's his first movie that crossed over 100 million in his career. And I think it's the biggest Memorial Day weekend opening ever. So it's not just like a big number. I mean, it broke records. Yeah. And I think the reason why is that I think after some of the recent news that's going on, I think people want to go back to the theaters and get a sense of normalcy. And what's more normal than buy a movie ticket for a Tom Cruise action film? And like Raymond was saying, for your family. I mean, you go with your kids with this one. And it seems like a younger crowd went for this. Older crowd also came back to the movie theaters. And I think that's why you saw that big number.
Yeah, and everyone went to go see it. They came out praising it. It's a hit all over the place.
Yeah, I saw the movie, and I was very surprised by how good it was, and it also just like progressively just got better as it went along. So I think the movie's probably going to end up having very strong word of mouth, more than likely.
Now, Raymond, do you think this is the one movie that Tom Cruise can actually get an Oscar?
No, but I mean. It's a great performance from him. I wouldn't say it's better than like Magnolia or Rain Man or I wouldn't. Yeah, so I don't think so.
Let me ask you this: if Top Gun Maverick was released 2 years ago, which was the original release date, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, I remember back then that they screened it for I believe Navy like
oh really
a battleship like so
they got an early peek of the movie.
Yeah, because it was they were out there promoting it like it was about to go out, I think in 2 weeks or something like that. 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was done. It was edited. It was done. But because of the pandemic, it was delayed, and there was actually talks about maybe releasing this as a Paramount Plus exclusive. Tom Cruise put a stop to that, and so they waited a long time for this. And I think because they waited, I think they delayed the movie for almost 2 years. And I think because of that, the anticipation just grew and grew and snowballed into what it is now. And I think that's why people were so interested, or at least knew about the movie. All right, let's talk about the Bob's Burger movie, which, we kind of predicted that was going to do around this number. I think, Raymond, you actually you thought this was going to be a higher number?
Yeah, I thought it was going to do much better. I thought it was going to do like double this, but because I was kind of just looking at the show's ratings, and it had very high ratings at one point. I'm like, whoa, if they could get that whole audience, like, or at least half of that audience to go see the movie, then it would get really solid numbers. But personally, I stopped watching this show after the second season because I thought it got super repetitive. So maybe people just kind of got over it also.
Well, let me quickly go back to Tom Cruise, because I think what Tom Cruise has proved here with this number is that he is probably the only one who is now officially the last movie star in the U.S., maybe in the world, maybe. If you think about it, all his contemporaries have gone the streaming route. Even someone like Sandra Bullock, who had a hit with The Lost City recently, She has worked with Netflix. Julia Roberts is going TV. Tom Hanks is working with, recently we just saw a trailer for Pinocchio, and he's working in streaming. He has his last 2 movies were open on iTunes. So Tom Cruise is the last kind of, not just the last movie star, but the last movie star who will only appear in theaters. What's your feelings about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the movie that truly made him a superstar, because he had a lot of successful movies in the past, but they had all opened to around like 60 millions around that area, and this one opened huge. So I mean, yeah, this shows he's rock star level now. And, he deserves it.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
dude's been risking his life in every film. I think he even risked his life in this movie, right?
and this proves that he's also an international star. He's always been an international star, and this movie did do internationally almost $140 million. And so the movie, the Top Gun Maverick itself is doing so far over $300 million total. That's a crazy opening.
Yeah, I would say that Tom Cruise is now in a league of his own. And I think with this movie, with this number, he really kind of proves that he has overcome that. A few years ago, he was the guy known for jumping on the couch with Oprah Winfrey.
He still is.
And so he has kind of washed himself with that kind of bad press, and he has now become a new kind of superstar, and that his career has become this roller coaster ride. So it's so funny to see that. This really shows you that his next film, the Mission Impossible movie, I think it's going to be huge, like the biggest ever in the franchise, and which comes out next year, and I think that's going to be a really big film.
Yeah, and it's obvious that Paramount Pictures is going to want to keep him happy for the rest of his career, so he'll be with Paramount forever. So whatever big projects he comes up with, they'll okay it.
All right, let's talk about what's coming out this Friday. Rich, tell us what's the movies that are coming out this weekend.
Nothing really. I mean, it's the only things that I see are Crimes of the Future, which is David Cronenberg's new film. That may be coming up in a couple screens, and also a film called Watcher. So everything else is just a bunch of minor releases, limited everywhere. But yeah, it looks like another Top Gun movie weekend.
For sure, the Top Gun Maverick is going to be #1 again. It's going to be #1 until Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Dominion comes out, which is, when is that? That's 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
All right. That was our take for the box office report. We'll be back next week. Thank you for watching InsideFlix. All right, bye-bye.